That's how you look when you get sent to the principal's office for snapping bras and shooting some spitballs. What's up everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're an indie artist looking for an album review and some promo, you can hit up Luke at redmattersite.com. But today we're going to talk about this Troy Ave album called Roland Collins. Now obviously Troy Ave has been in and out of the news over the past couple of months because of that shit that went on at T.I.'s concert with all the guns going off and he accidentally shot himself in the leg apparently. You can look up the news story if you want to know what I'm getting at. So on this album he's actually touching on some of that, and I think that's what makes it more interesting than some of his last projects, especially his last album, Major Without a Deal, which I thought was awful and was one of the worst projects of 2015. But on this one you are getting a little bit of good content in my opinion. On Realize, he goes in about how he's now at the lowest moment of his life and he's just trying to find out who's there for him, who isn't there for him as he navigates his way through these tough times. So I can appreciate that he's being open and honest about such a difficult time in his life. And then on Rikers Island, he really goes into detail about what it was like to be on Rikers Island, having to be in that wheelchair, trying to get in and out of his cell, obviously because of that gunshot injury, people coming to visit him and just maneuvering around the other inmates. I thought it was a really interesting song, has a little bit of a reggae vibe to it, and it wasn't one of my favorites, but I thought it was pretty cool, especially because he makes a reference to Fred Savage and the Wonder Years. Shout out to Winnie Cooper with her fine ass. If you don't know who she is, maybe you're just young, but if you're around my age, man, she was definitely a teenage heartthrob. But one of the things that definitely keeps this project from being great is some of the corny lyricism that you're going to hear throughout some of these songs. Like on Riding in My Whip, where he says that he gave back to his hood by buying a girl an ass, which is just kind of corny and that's not really giving that much back to the hood. And then on the song Appreciate Me, he says how he hopes his ex gets with a guy who treats her like shit, then she gets pregnant with an ugly baby. So he's being pretty damn childish and petty on here, but that's not really any surprise because if you've ever seen any of Troy Ave's interviews, he can be a little bit of a dickhead in my opinion, especially when you take into account what he said about Capital Steez quite a while ago and the whole beef that he's had with Joey Badass. But there are a couple of nice beats on here. The song Hot Boy, for example, has this nice boom bap feel, although again, it's plagued with some corny lyricism, like when he says he's so hot, you gotta get a thermometer, which is just like, that's some shit people write the first time they ever write a line. And I do like on Drug Game how we get some nice string production and he's spitting about the consequences of the street game and how easy it is for people to get caught up in it. So that was some other good content, and I appreciate that he was bringing some decent material on here, including on the song Don't Forget, where he does a little bit of storytelling. He's telling you about some people who are getting caught up in a whole bunch of different shit and how they weren't staying true to themselves because you shouldn't forget who you are. So there are some good things about this project, but what really makes it awful in my opinion is all this damn singing that Troy Ave does. I don't know why he keeps doing it. It's not charismatic, it's not charming, it's not catchy, it just sounds really bad and dull. Like on the song Freaks Only, where he's singing to the freaks only, obviously just some throwaway bars about getting his dick sucked, fucking around with girls, etc., over this cheesy ass piano production that is overloaded with hand claps just sprinkled over top like some goddamn croutons. I thought this song was awful. And on Chuck Norris we do get this nice saxophone beat. That one was alright, but again he's doing that awful crooning, this time about how he fucks with the hoes and the gangsters. And I gotta say man, this whole Chuck Norris reference would have worked much better if he had dropped this like years ago when Chuck Norris jokes and references were still a thing. Although to be honest, you always gotta respect Texas Walker Ranger and also the Delta Force. But in the end, I really feel this one at a 2.5 out of 5. Like I said, it is better than his last one, which I rated a 2, but I still don't think there's going to be enough here to make believers out of people who really hate Troy Ave's music. I just think this is pretty average. Some people call him Troy Average. Haha, feel free to use that when you talk about this project, because that's what it is. It's just average. So you guys can check it out for yourself and hit me up in the comments section with your thoughts, and make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff, man, where you like my videos, you share them, you follow me on Twitter, you retweet the videos, and you especially subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching everybody. I will see you next time.